I'm Mega Mike the Movie Man. Today we're going to be reviewing the Criterion copy of Fast Times at Ridgemont High. We're going to go over the good, the bad, and my recommendation on whether you should see this one or not. Also, stick around to the very end of the video as I will be doing a full unboxing of the packaging of this one and also going over the audio and visual quality. So stay tuned for that.
Hey bud, let's party!
So Fast Times at Ridgemont High is a movie that came out in 1982, directed by Amy Heckerling, and this movie is great. This is one of the best high school movies of all time, one of the best coming of age movies of all time, and one of the best 80s movies of all time. This movie is just fantastic in so many ways. First, the characters are so relatable. These are perfect characters for this teenage high school setting, and they just play all their parts so realistically and raw, and you can relate to each of these different characters. It's just like you plucked them right out of a high school and then told this story. And this movie is actually based on a book and observations that someone made at a high school. So these characters are so realistic. Everybody knows a Spicoli at their school, a Damone, a Rat, a Stacy. These characters are just so real, and they have their different emotions and different unique personalities, and they bring so much to the movie. Spicoli, played by Sean Penn, is hilarious in this movie. He adds so much comedic relief with Mr. Hand, the teacher. They have some of the funniest moments in any movie, and that's what makes this movie a comedy drama. If you took out Spicoli and Mr. Hand, it would not have the comedy part, just the drama. So it's great to have them in the movie to kind of break up those tensions. And then all the other characters, like I said, Rat, Stacy, Damone, these are such relatable characters, and you just connect with what they're going through. They're going through typical teenager problems, and they're trying to grow as human beings and develop and really figure out what they're doing with their lives and working these different jobs.
No prize before their time.
It says 100% guaranteed, you moron.
Mister, if you don't shut up, I'm gonna kick 100% of your ass.
Some other standouts of the movie is this movie has a really solid soundtrack. The soundtrack is fantastic. A bunch of classic 80s songs. You can just listen to this movie and have a great time with the music in the background. And then, like I said, all the characters in this movie really stand out here. You have a young Forrest Whitaker, which is great to see in the movie. You have a young Phoebe Cates, which is great to see in the movie. She's the actress from the Gremlins movie. And then you have even Nicolas Cage appear in a small scene in the background, and you can kind of pick him out of the crowd. So such great talent on screen here, and they're doing such a great job from beginning to the end of this movie, just telling a great overarching story of these characters learning, going through obstacles, going through problems and issues, and just really finding themselves, finding what they want out of relationships. And by the end of the movie, you see that they kind of find out what they truly want and what's going to be best for them in life. And so it's such a great coming of age story, such a great high school movie with realistic teenagers.
Awesome! Totally awesome!
Now to get into the bad of the movie. Well, what's great about this movie is there isn't a whole lot of negatives to talk about. But if you're really looking for some negatives, one thing is you could say this movie could be a little bit longer, give us a little bit more at the end of the movie, maybe just another few more minutes, kind of showing us where these characters end up. It does do a good job of telling us with text on the screen, which I do appreciate, but I would have more liked to see some more additional scenes going through each of the different characters and where they're ending up in life. I think seeing it on screen rather than just being told it, but actually showing it would have been a little nice extra addition to it. And I think that would have just made the movie even better. But overall, like I said, very difficult to find any negatives about this movie. This is an excellent movie. Still holds up to this day.
Oh, gnarly!
Now to go over my recommendation for the movie. Yes, everyone should absolutely see this movie. If you haven't seen this movie already, you have to check it out. Like I said, it's an essential classic 80s movie, an essential high school movie, just a great coming of age story that everybody should see. This is one of the movies that need to be on your list if you have not yet seen it. And if you haven't seen it in a while, I do recommend checking out that Blu-ray Criterion copy just because it's so well done. It would be great to see it again. Trust me, it was such a great experience watching this one for another time on that Blu-ray disc. So I highly recommend it for everybody. You gotta see this movie, especially if you like the 80s movies, you like that teenage drama type of story, very similar to a John Hughes type of movie like A Breakfast Club, or other movies like Clueless, which this director also did, or even a movie like Dazed and Confused. All those movies are in the same spirit, so you definitely want to check this one out. I'm telling you, this is one of the best in its genre. Now we're going to be doing our full unboxing of this movie. So we're going to be doing a full unboxing here. You can go ahead and take a look at the front cover. I really like the design on this front cover. It just feels very 80s, very nostalgic. Shows off some of the characters. I love the coloring on it, some of the pastel colors and the checkerboard coloring as well. Just goes so perfect for this type of movie, and the lettering is excellent here. So this is a great front cover. Now let's take a look at the spine of the movie. You can see the spine. Simple, keeps with the same type of coloring and design, shows off Criterion collection, and this is spine number 1075. So spine number 1075 out of the Criterion collection. But that's the spine for you right there. Now let's take a look at the back. So take a look at the back here. You can see the audio and visual quality right there. You got it in 5.1 surround sound, which is a good audio track. The sound sounds great in the movie, so I think they did a good job with it. Of course, I would have preferred a Dolby Atmos track, but the 5.1 surround is not bad. Also, this visual quality is excellent as well. It was restored in 4K digital and was even supervised by the director of the film, so you know you're getting a good visual quality there as well. For Blu-ray, this transfer is definitely excellent. It looks fantastic. All the colors came through very nicely in this movie. Visually, audio-wise, this movie is a great overall transfer onto a disc right here. So this is so well done. And you can also see the special features in here. Now this movie is packed with tons of special features. You have so many different commentaries and interviews within this film. You have an interview even with the director of this film, talking with Olivia Wilde, who's another director who did the movie Booksmart, and talking about how she was inspired by that movie. So that was a really fun interview to include. I wasn't expecting that. Also, they include the TV version of this movie, which I have not got a chance to check out yet, but I heard that one has additional scenes in it as well, even showing off a little bit more of some of the characters you didn't really get to see a lot of in the movie. So I'm really interested in checking that one out. So for special features, this movie gives you hours and hours of special features to check out. You really can't go wrong with these special features at all. In terms of Criterion, they did a fantastic job here packing in those special features. Audio visual quality, like I said, are fantastic. So all around, what's included in that is just so well done. Now let's take a look at opening the inside, see if we get any goodies in here. But let's first take a look at that disc. Now the disc is pretty simple, but I do like the lettering keeping with the title in the front cover, so I do like that. So for me, the disc art works just fine right there. And then you can take a look. You actually get a nice little booklet in here, so let's take a look at that a little bit more closely. So it's always nice when Criterion packs in these little featurette booklets. Gives you kind of something else to go through. And this is a nice little one. And I like the coloring on it. Once again, keeping with those pastel, classic 80 colors right there. So I do like the coloring. And then you can kind of just check this one out. It basically goes over different little frames from the movie. And talks about the movie, different scenes. And so if you really like the booklets, like I said, I think this one does a great job in here. It gives you a lot of different images, a lot of different information, viewpoints. Just so well done, showing off the characters. Can't go wrong with that booklet. So that's a great addition that Criterion added to this packaging. So overall, this is a great Criterion collection item right here. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, not only being a great movie, but coming in this great packaging of everything included, with all the special features, with the fun booklet, with all the covering and art design. It is just so well done and perfect for this movie. And like I said, it's just packed with tons and tons, hours and hours of special features. You're not going to get bored with this one. You can keep going back at different times and seeing different things within this type of movie, that it is just so highly recommended. If you want to get into Criterion movies and you want a movie that's a little bit more easier to digest and isn't too old of a movie, this movie, like I said, really holds up to today. I think you're going to have a blast with this movie. This movie can even pass for a late 90s movie, even though it's more of an early 80s movie. Like I said, they just do such a great job with the visuals and audios of this transfer that I don't think you're going to be disappointed at all. So I'm going to highly recommend picking this one up on Criterion and seeing this movie in the best way possible. So that will do it for today's packaging and unboxing review. And this is Mega Mike, the Movie Man, out here reminding you to make every day a movie day.